Ah, am I on? I think I am. Oh, I'm a little loud. Okay, I think this is better. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my stream. Hope you're doing fantastic today. Got some really cool things we're gonna talk about. That's gonna be the topic of today's video: burnout and depression. We're gonna talk about that for a little bit, and we're gonna continue practicing art. Some of the art that we've been practicing was from last stream, which was a little bit about the hair, a little bit about the body, and we're gonna continue that a little bit, and we're gonna start a brand new drawing to test out some more skills. But of course, every stream we do have a topic we talk about, and today let's start on why I wanted to choose this topic to begin with. And it's actually quite an interesting experience that I had over the last 2 years, coming into grips with content creation, burnout, not so much depression per se, but I believe that there is a bit of commingling between the two. And I wanted to share my experience with that. And we'll talk a little bit about why it happened and my solution to this issue, at least, because everybody's solution is going to be different, right? Let's talk about burnout first, right? So burnout is when you typically are in a situation where you're not getting the results that you want. Your expectations are not being met. And this typically happens in a hobby, at work. Anything in your life that is not going the way that you expect can lead to burnout. And it happens to all of us. It's totally normal. What happens during burnout is that you enter sort of like this state of, I would say a very low state of sadness, a low state of maybe anger, if anger is your defense mechanism. Whatever it may be, you're not in an optimistic or a normal state of mind. And as we know with depression, it sort of spirals downwards over and over and over. And so I was in that situation. 2 years ago, when I did art, when I was doing art, I had a burnout because I sort of lost motivation to draw. The speed in which I was learning decreased substantially as I entered the roadblock of anatomy, gestures, among other things. Not just that, but a lot of my peers were also leaving art, specifically leaving Twitch, because it wasn't necessarily sustainable for them. And now art has always been a hobby for me. It's never been a job. But to see some of my peers that I looked up to sort of slowly stream less and move away from Twitch made me sort of, it's like kind of losing friends. And you yourself is also struggling as well. And it's just like a really, really dark time. During that period of time, the last 2 years, I ended up doing things that made me happier, right? So I played a little bit more video games. I kind of streamed whenever, whatever I felt like that I thought would help me. But alas, it didn't. Alas, it did not. But that break was important. That break was very important after I realized that playing games and sort of running away from the problem was not the issue at hand. The issue at hand I had to really think about was basically the speed in which I was able to grow, and how I was pigeonholed into, by myself by the way, pigeonholed into art as a medium where if I don't get better at art, then I'm not doing my job as a content creator. So I was sort of in a situation where I continuously held myself back from my because of my own belief of wanting to be better. right? And so I took a break. I took a year break from streaming, but I kept up with my socials, and now I am back, and back with a different sort of plan, a different sort of way to do content creation. I feel a lot more energized, and I'm going to continue it as long as I can. But I want to get to one point here. Burnout, the way to fix burnout is something that you need to find out and change internally. You need to tackle the problem in a different way. So if you are, for example, like me, and you are burnt out from art, you need to figure out what expectations do you have, right? And that's the first step. And the second thing is realize why you're not reaching that expectation. Figure out if you're willing to go that extra mile, and if you're not willing to go that extra mile, then you need to reframe the way that you sort of approach what you're approaching. In my case specifically, I wanted to get better at art, but it took too long and I didn't want to put the effort in. And so I was this weird sort of standstill where I didn't want to put the effort in, but I wanted to get better at art. Eventually I realized, you know what? I should not go into art thinking that I want to get better at art. I shouldn't even go into art thinking that I should just draw for me and draw for whatever. What should I do then? What should I do? I should fuse art with other things that I enjoy in my life, is the conclusion that I came up with. What that means is, of course, everybody has different hobbies. And one of my favorite hobbies that I've been doing all my life is learning. And so what I should be doing is I should be showing my learning process, what I've learned, sharing it with others, and sort of having a place where we all can learn something. And there's no pressure not to perform. It's a place where we make mistakes, learn, grow. And that is the sort of thing that I came up with to reevaluate my struggle with burnout, specifically art burnout. I guess in some way content creation a little bit as well, mainly with art. Yeah, and so that's the thing with art. And let's move into depression, right? So I know a lot of people out there are depressed, right? And I once too was depressed. I remember that situation very, very clearly. It was really, really bad. I didn't get meds for it, but I just felt low energy every day. I just felt like really just low energy basically the entire time, because I knew that there was stresses and other things just holding me back, and I didn't know what to do about it, and I couldn't just push it away type of thing, right? And I don't have the solution to depression. However, I just want to say what helped me get out of depression, and maybe this will be a little bit of like a personal anecdote experience of what happens. I personally think that depression is caused by a stress trigger that continuously happens over and over and over again. In my case, that was basically the stress and the importance of going to college, and going to a university from high school, even though my grades weren't so great. This battle that I had with ADHD that I didn't even knew I had until like last year. Like, I thought I had it, but I didn't have that much of it, is what I thought. I thought I was like on the borderline. But no, I actually have ADHD, and that actually explains a lot of the things why I sort of struggled with school and other things. Am I going to get medicated for that? No, but it's something that I wish I diagnosed early, so I could have been able to change my life in a way that fits my condition. Anyway, that being said, how did I get out of the depressive state? It takes a while. It's not something like incredibly immediate. And it happens when you take that stressor away. For some people, that stressor might be their job. Some might be their spouse. Some might be their children. Some might be their work. Some might be a health condition. Whatever it is, if you do have the luxury to take that stressor away somehow, it will be so beneficial to your mental health, but not just your mental health. Remember that being in a depressive state also means that you are highly stressed all the time, which means that you have high cortisol, which means you have better fat retention. So you basically make more fat, so you get fatter. You sleep worse. Your body is constantly in battle, in fight or flight. Just a whole bunch of issues that occur. You really don't want to be in that situation for that long. And obviously, not everybody has that luxury. But if you do have that luxury to figure out that pain point, only you can make that decision to push it away. For me, honestly, that pain point was not somebody per se, was just me totally accepting the fact that I was not smart enough to immediately go to university. So I did go to community college and then moved into college later. And guess what? It's okay. That was basically the stressed point for me. If it's a work situation, I know, people don't have that luxury, but if you do have the luxury to find a new job, not right now in this economy, but when the economy is booming, find a new job, move to a new place, try something new. I think that will really help with your mental state. Obviously, it's not going to happen over, a short period of time. It will take a while, 2 years, 3 years. But, giving that mental relief of that compressed energy that you have in your body and to let go is very important. And it starts with you. It starts with you making the decision to want to change and to want to get out of this depressive state. So yeah, that's my little spiel about depression and sort of my personal anecdote about that. A couple of things I wanted to also talk about that are in the same vein as burnout and depression is the idea of grinding really hard to push through. This is good for when there's a deadline or there's something that needs to be done no matter what. That makes sense. Grind it out, push it through. But to do it continuously is actually very, very bad to not just your mental health, but to your nervous system. Again, you don't want too much cortisol. You want cortisol, but you don't want too much cortisol. Having lots of stress continuously will compound over time, and you will pay for it in the future as your health implications may arise and may come up. So just be aware that grinding and pushing through should be temporary and not constant. If it is constant, something needs to change. If you have the luxury to, at least, to change it. Yeah. And at least that's what I've sort of learned. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about vacations. I think this is very important. Vacations. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but at least around my circle, there's been a lot of people, a lot of my peers, who have been going on vacations. And not just a small vacation. Vacations multiple times a year, in fact. And these vacations are not long vacations like a week. These vacations are typically 3 or 4 days. So basically, maybe Friday they take off, then they go Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then they come back Monday, maybe something like that. Or they leave Thursday night, then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and come back Sunday, and then go back to work. These micro vacations are becoming a lot more popular. Now, the reason why I've noticed this is because something that I saw was that there is actually a huge increase in cruises, short cruises for 3 to 4 days, compared to longer cruises, which is 7 to 10 days. Now, as a person who looks at it from a value standpoint, it honestly doesn't make sense to go on a cruise for 3 to 4 days to me. because you are literally on the ship for like it's like a glorified trip to the beach, I guess, with an all inclusive glorified like hotel to the beach. I don't know how to describe it, but I think it's a hassle like traveling back and forth. But apparently it's rising. And the reason why it's rising is because people are taking a lot more micro vacations. Now, how does that relate to burnout? Well, the reason why it relates is because one thing that I've sort of learned is that if every person, right? Let's say they have disposable income of $1,000 every half year. Every 6 months, you have $1,000 you've saved up for that you could, after everything has been paid off. Everything's paid off. You don't have a kid, right? Rent, everything is paid off. You have $1,000 saved up from 6 months, right? What do you do with those $1,000? You can spend on anything you want. Vacation, hobbies, you can go eat out somewhere nice. You can buy something really cool, whatever it may be. And I learned that there are two things that people typically have been doing, and it really depends on your mental state. Number one, it's to buy things that you enjoy, your hobbies. You can buy a model like this, trading cards, plushies, you can buy merch, you can buy clothing, right? Whatever hobby that you're in, board games, whatever hobby that you're in, you buy those things. And these are sort of like micro doses of happiness you get in, right? These are really good when you are sort of in the constant move with your life, and that it's a little bit of boredom, a little bit of, I just need a little bit of a dopamine hit, and you enjoy your hobbies that way to keep you sort of moving and trucking along. That's cool. There is the second one. Now, the second one is to go on a vacation. And vacations are really good for what? It's really good when you really need sort of like a change. You really need to get out. You really need, you're maybe in a depressed state. You might be burnt out. You might just feel like something needs to happen, right? These are what vacations are for. It's very good to open your eyes, go away, relax, make new memories, which is very important for your mental health. Because imagine a situation where, like, for example, 10 years, you buy clothes, you buy, stuff like that. You buy your hobbies, you buy whatever it may be. Versus another person for 10 years going on vacations. I'm pretty sure anybody would say the person who went on vacations would have more memories, more experiences, etc. Yeah. Give me 1 second. Something happened real quick. Okay, no, we're good. I think we are good. Okay. Yeah, and so there are those are the two things why people are two ways to spend money to kind of help with that, with burnout, depression, getting through stuff, right? So it's important to take vacations 100%. It's also important to do hobbies as well, have hobbies and spend on hobbies as well, have a good mix, and enjoy life, because life is short. All right, so that is our little spiel about art and others. It seems I'm getting a little bit of frame drops. Just a little bit. So let me see if it's, let me just double check it to see if it's an issue on Twitch. Looks like it's okay. 3. It looks fine to me. Okay. All right, so let's get into some art here. All right, so today we are going to do two things. The first thing we're going to do again is to quickly sketch out the body, and then after that we're going to start a brand new piece. So I was doing a little bit of art study over the past few days, and something that I wanted to practice was actually, you know what, let's practice it right now. Something that I wanted to practice was creating cubes. Where is why can't I draw anything? Oh my gosh. I think my clip is lagging a bit. Oh, it's a vector layer. Wait, I don't want a vector layer. Where did my normal layer go? New raster layer. There we go. Okay, I'm having OBS issues. I'm gonna reopen OBS real quick. Apologies. Okay, now it's working. Not sure why it wasn't working before. Okay, so so basically, the okay. It's to practice drawing squares. So let's go ahead and quickly draw with the brush. Some lines, and we're gonna follow it. Okay, cool. Okay, this is nice. So let's do this. So what the video was talking about was, this is really good practice. If you guys want to do it, you guys can follow along with me. And it's the whole idea of creating boxes and following a line, and the goal is to sort of practice the idea of putting two or three or multiple boxes connecting with each other. And the point is that you kind of want to connect the pieces of to a corner, right? And so they are all connected in some way. Maybe for this one, I'll make it a little bit bigger. Like so. different shapes, different sizes. Let's do a big one. And this one, let's do something that's a little let's do something that's a little wider here. So this one would be right here, and right there. And we grow and we grow. Okay, let's go ahead and try different sort of. So we got a curve with the curve with the art here, the line. So to do that, whoops. We won't go all the way here because I want to show you guys what it kind of looks like, you know? And so what happens is as you're creating all these different cubes, right? Different shapes and sizes. What you'll start to notice is that perhaps you will be able to you'll get practice on how different shapes sort of work in different ways. And this sort of helps with drawing arms and other things as well. Okay, we'll do up to here. So we'll do a little bit more, and then I can show you guys the results of what I'm thinking about. Or it's supposed to happen at least. One thing that's really fun about this is that you're able to you can do this anywhere. Like, it's kind of therapeutic to kind of do this sort of on like a sketchbook, on the plane, or whatever it may be, just drawing cubes. Yeah, on the one last one right here. Let's do something that looks like this. Okay, and so now what happens is you go ahead and shade in you shade in one side, right? And what that helps you do is gives you depth to the whole picture. Hopefully I'm doing the lesson right. It was a um, small little Instagram video that I watched. Right? So now you have this line of all these cubes. It helps you practice different cubes in different ways and different forms. Yeah. Now that is our small little practice of cubes. Let's go back to this piece of art now, shall we? So we did have this piece of art, and there's a couple things I kind of wanted to change. I did a little bit of anatomy practice here, and one thing that I kind of want to do is, where is my layer right here? Okay, right here. This is red juice pencil, right? Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna draw this again. Actually, I probably should do this on another layer, shouldn't I? Guess I'll do it right. I guess I'll do it right here, right? No, I won't. I'll do it on a layer higher, right here. Okay, so let's try this again. So what did I miss? Well, luckily the VOD is going to be on YouTube, but we talked about burnout and depression, and we talked a little bit about vacations and spending money, and yeah, nothing crazy. We did a little bit of cube practice. I already deleted the layer, but we did a bit of cube practice. We're not going to complete this picture because I want to practice other things. So what we're just going to do is I just want to get the anatomy right for this top half, and then after that we'll move on to the next one. At least that is my goal. So I've been watching a little bit of more videos on anatomy, as well as sort of like yeah, how the body works a little bit, and a lot of the videos aren't really that helpful. They aren't really that helpful, but because, how do I describe it? I'm sleeping. I'm like in my bed, so I'm not practicing the stuff that they're showing, which is why it's not helpful. But I did do a little bit of practice on paper while I was like doing other things, and kind of want to test it out to see if it will work. So one thing that I want to do is I want to actually move the whole body upwards this way. I noticed that in the arts that I have done, that I have sort of it's that the hips and the torso typically are a lot no, this is wrong. Yeah, it should be something like that. Okay, so that being said, let's go ahead and move the body upwards. And we gotta make the legs longer. The body is up to here, so the legs should be... Actually, legs are about right. I think. But how is everybody's day? Hopefully it's good. Hopefully. Hopefully it's not bad. I wouldn't want that, right? It's a rest day. Nice. Glad to hear. This sort of stuff is it legal on YouTube? I don't even know. I think it is. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. What's my flip button again? There it is. Oops. Yeah, I've been drawing a lot more traditionally, and because of that, something that I've sort of noticed is, and the reason why I draw more traditionally these days, is I'm trying to get used to the whole idea of having a pen and being confident with my lines. I can't make mistakes. Or if I do make mistakes, I cannot erase it. And I think that erasing is holding me back from getting better at art, basically. So I want to kind of decrease that a bit. Just a bit. All right, I think that is it. I don't want to continue this too much longer. So we're going to stop right here. And we're going to try another piece. Okay, here we go. Next piece. So, what are we gonna do for the next piece, guys? Let's see. I'm gonna put this all in a folder so we know if we ever want to come back to it, is there. This one we can delete. Okay, so this one is gonna be a little bit of. Let's get our sketching brush here. Okay. I want this one to be instead of all squiggly lines, let's try to make something that's a little more firm within a box. So if it's like a box, I kind of want to be within that box. So let's assume that the box is like right here. And the character, oh, you know what'd be cool? Okay. How about this? We're in a box, but we're coming out of the box. And the box is actually going to be sort of like the background thingy, maybe. Okay, let's just draw some lines. I'm gonna close my eyes. Derbsan, welcome in. Hello. It's the word that everyone reads my name as. What's the word? Burnout? All right, I'm closing my eyes. Here we go. Okay, so this is our pose. This is our pose right here. Do you guys see it? I gotta actually look at this a bit. All right. It's good. We're practicing some art right now. There's a couple of different things that I wanted to practice. I wanted to practice some. Actually, is the audio okay? I hope the audio is okay. Or it might be a little low at times. Let me make it one notch higher. We talked a little bit about burnout and depression, but now we are in practicing flow, practicing anatomy, flow, as well as hair to really hone in the style that I want to create, which is a fusion of, it's basically like fantasy themed, it's moving towards fantasy and anime fantasy. But it has my own sort of things that I enjoy. So that like own art techniques that I enjoy. So let's see what we got here. Lift in Texan Foxaboy. Lift in Texan? What's lift in Texan? Okay, I'm gonna flip this because I think I have something here, guys. I think I have something, but I need to flip it. Yeah. Oh, is the redeems not showing? Did you guys redeem something? Oh, you did. Thank you. Oh my god, I might have missed some redeems from before. I'll go ahead and fix that later. We'll do some weights and then Texan accent. Okay, cool. Let's do some weights first. I'm gonna go get some. No. Oh, gotta make sure you guys stretch too. Okay, that's good. Okay, let's do some weights. Here we go. Here's my weights. Let's do it. H, ni, san, shi, go, ro, shichi, hachi, kyu, ju. Oof. H, ni, san, shi, go, ro, shichi, hachi, Okay. And we'll do our Texan accent. Alrighty, let's get it done. All right, so this is the pose. I flipped the image because I was thinking maybe we can. Let's get a little light here. Gotta love these. You gotta love these. Banned. He is banned. All right. So I was thinking a little bit like this, and maybe something like this, and torso maybe going like this, but no. I wanted to keep it simple. So maybe this, but do this. We no. How do I make this? How about we try for a triangle here? We would do a triangle. And maybe we could do this. This is more like a... Alright, this is a little difficult. You're chatting on YouTube, but you're still on just chatting. Oh, right. My bad. YouTube. I don't know. You say that YouTube should work. I'm having issues with YouTube. Like I have a page, a monkey on the page on the right, and it says, I think the chat is bugged. So I don't think I can read YouTube right now. All right, this might be a little difficult. We're gonna do a little bit different. All right. Let's try again. I'm closing my eyes. Let's do let's do a simple pose. This is our pose right here. Okay. All right. Last time we went a little overkill. This one looks like an 8. So man, I love doing big poses, don't I? All right, let's get our hips perhaps a little straight. Head tilt straight, legs coming down. And maybe we do a little, the weight. All right, so the weight is going to be right here. hips, the weight is gonna be right here. So this has to be good, and then, or I've never done this before, but what if she's sitting? What if she's sitting? Maybe we should get rid of the box real quick. Then I want her to be a little kind of in it, you know? I want to make her head a little down more like this. Okay. I have an idea. Wait, what? How did these two lines confuse together? Okay, that was good. Oh, and I think 5 minutes is up. Thank you for the redeem. No character. This is just somebody that came out of my mind. I was practicing posture and hair and stuff like that. This is just what came out of my head. If you like her, thank you. Okay, I'm thinking one leg up, one leg to the side, right? I'm thinking maybe arm right here. And this hand is maybe holding, maybe there's a sword right here. I don't know. Wait, sword on the thigh? That wouldn't make sense. They're just hanging down. All right. This is our pose. I've never drawn a person sitting down before, so I don't know the anatomy behind it. But again, the goal is to create something out of nothing. And we just created a simple shape, and we're gonna go ahead and try to do that. Okay, so we're gonna get rid of the box now, just to okay, now we're gonna add in the anatomy part. Now I don't know the anatomy, so I'm gonna try this with her. This is a little buddy doll, action doll. It doesn't move it's a very rigid doll, I would say. It doesn't, okay, it just popped off. It doesn't turn the way that I want it to, sadly. The joints don't go the way that I want it to. So like I can't make her look like she's sitting. This is the farthest I can go upwards. But it will give me sort of a general idea of what I'm trying to aim for. Okay. Let's get our other brush here. Okay. Okay, now we are going to get the shape of the body, and then we're gonna do we're gonna color in the using values and stuff, or not values really, but Yeah, so we're gonna make the head just a little bit smaller, and the body is going to be right here, right? Whoops. The body, I typically like putting the same size as the head a bit. And then we're gonna have the pelvis area, which is typically a little bit wider, um, but closer to the belly area. So it'd be like here, I think. So this is our structure. Within that structure, we're going to go ahead and draw our so there's going to be a bit of a slant coming down this way, and it's going to be slanted. Yeah. So slanted this way, slanted that way. So let's see. So this one's probably like up here. This one's probably down here. These are the shoulders. And now the face. Okay. I've just noticed that the face is a little too big, so we're gonna move it up, like so. Okay. Let's go ahead and block this in with some values. First, we're gonna shade in 50%. Whoops. So the darker hand is gonna be in front, so we know that it is coming out. And I think this one should be actually higher. This arm. Why am I, I don't understand why I'm trying such difficult poses. I've never tried before on stream. But this is, I guess, part of the humility part, right? I remember back in the day, I used to make a lot of mistakes on stream, and I was totally fine with it because I'm learning how to draw. At some point, I was like, I can't make mistakes anymore. And that's wrong. You can make mistakes. You guys can see the journey of what happens. This is just to get the flow of the body. Okay, it seems like this whole area needs to kind of like Okay, let's go with that. We'll play the shapes as we kind of move along, right? Arigato! Thank you, thank you. So if this was like a square, I feel like it'd be kind of coming out a little bit, like so. Like the body's kind of tilting upwards. If that was the case, then I just realized a girl typically wouldn't have this sort of pose because the area is open right here. So I gotta make a big transition here, guys. We need to move this actually like right here. And this has to be outwards a little more. This whole area can shift inwards a bit. Try to break it down to squares. Maybe that might be help me a little bit. This is all like back behind it, you know. I think the head should be little higher. Or smaller, per se. Sorry. Gambare. Let's go, let's go. As I am actively trying to navigate through this, how are you guys doing? Any plans for today? Okay, let's try actively drawing it now. Here we go. That was the sketching phase. Let's see what we can do. So our goal here for this time is not to complete the entire body again. It's to practice. We already practiced our pose. We practiced drawing from nothing. We now got to practice our hair and a little bit of the upper torso. And this piece will also be done for our practice. So we've got our pencil here. Here we go. The fun part, right? So this specific piece, I want the eyes to be kind of looking menacingly at somebody a little bit, maybe. So let's go ahead and see if we can do that real quick. I think in order to get a menacing feel, you gotta definitely create some more angles, I would say. You don't have to, but I'm thinking about creating angles at least. Not a fan. Let's try it again. We'll go ahead and like make it cleaner later. I want to have her sort of the eyes a little bit bigger. And I'm pushing the whole body face downwards because I want her to be, her head is going to be tilted down a little bit. So that's kind of the goal I'm thinking about. And we want to have sort of a menacing expression. Okay. Let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit here. Make it a little bit brighter here. So I'm looking at it from a 3D perspective right now. I know how like the face sort of like kind of goes like this, right? I'm trying to see if I can make it a little more 3D like. Because this looks like it's flat, you know? So that's why I'm trying to add a little bit of diagonality, some curvature. But the eyes look a little off, honestly. I know that Naoki sensei, he'll like keep doing eyes until it just like looks perfect to him. Okay. Something's wrong with the eyes. That looks a little bit better. Sometimes you just gotta change just a little bit. Give it a little beauty spot here. The head is a little bit on the bigger side. That's okay. So I've learned, like, at least with the way that I typically draw, I've learned that I tend to oversize things. I've done this as a kid often. When I draw, I would oversize the body, everything. And so I need to really, and one of the reasons why is because personally, I really like, big brushes. And when you do big brushes, it's really sort of easy to, make big things bigger. But if you do smaller brushes, it's easier to make things smaller, obviously. So what I think I need to do a little more when I'm practicing anatomy is actually to thin my brushes a bit. And thin my brushes, but not only thin my brushes, but make kind of hurts my eyes a little bit, not gonna lie. So, her head is kind of in her head. I want her head to be kind of inwards a little bit, or like coming out of the frame a little bit. So that means that this shoulder area actually probably should be a little bit higher. Because I want her to be like really, yeah, there we go, yeah. I want her to be like really pushing upwards. And I know that there's a muscle right here. I don't know what I don't know what these muscles are called, honestly. But the clavicle I know is right here. I know the clavicle. I know the bone structures. Did you guys in elementary school have to remember the bone structures? Because I did. The tibia, the fibia, the clavicle, all the bone parts we had to memorize. I remember that. So this picture is actually be a lot smaller than I think. Let's shrink everything down here then. There we go. And also lift this one up a bit. Shall we do curly hair again? Wavy curly hair? Let's get another layer. Okay, so we are going to be practicing the hair. So the hair, we practiced it last time, right? The way that we do our hair is we are going to... Hobby, welcome back. We're doing some art today. Thanks for stopping by. We are going to do the silhouette of the hair first, do the outline, and then bring it in. That is, actually, speaking of outline, I want to show you guys something really cool I learned. I don't know if I can recreate it, but I'm gonna try. Excuse me. How are you doing, Hobby? Happy Sunday. This is how you draw a tree, apparently. Now, I know a lot of people, I don't know about you guys, but for me, how I draw trees is it looks like this. This is how I draw trees. Even though I do art and I draw like girls and stuff like that, this is the best tree I can make. Or, you know, I can do a Christmas tree. These are trees. Now, I saw a video when I was sleeping a couple days ago. Not sleeping, when I was doom scrolling. And they said trees are really easy. All you got to do is this. So what they did was basically they said, draw your trunks. Maybe you guys can do this too. It's like really simple. Let me actually. So now what you're going to do is you're going to sort of create sort of like these different shapes, but connecting jaggedy lines. And you want to do it in the shape of a tree. Like so. Okay. This is a little slanted, so I'm just going to move it. Like so. Okay. Yeah, there you go. And then what it said was, now what you do is you draw the same lines, but you kind of connect, kind of create portions of the same sort of style here. You create portions like so. It could be anywhere. I'm just connecting the lines to the out. Okay, here we go. So now you've created your portions, right? Now within those portions, you create more portions. So I'm gonna draw this on another layer so I don't mess up here. But apparently you draw another portion underneath it. And this is basically going to be the shadow. In those portions, you're going to shade in. Okay, so excuse my shading, but I am going to shade in. Now I put those portions anywhere really. Wait. I kind of confused myself. This is where it's supposed to be. So these portions, it can be anywhere. It's just 30% of the first portion that you did. Okay. One more right here. Okay, so now we have that tree. Now what we're gonna do is apparently we need to create a lighter portion, and then after that tree trunks. So I'm gonna, these lighter portions are only gonna go to sort of like, it's not gonna cover everything. It's just gonna cover maybe 80% of it. And then after that, we're gonna draw the trunks. So like so. Now, this would be better illustrated if I use blocks of color instead of shading it in like really badly. But it looks like this. And now pretend that this is a black tree trunk. This is a black tree trunk. Maybe do something. There you go. Fair? Yeah. And then what we're gonna do now is we are going to create branches within the trees. Actually, I probably should do this on another layer. Hold up. So we're gonna do like pretend that there's just in like sort of different angles, draw like branches. So what are branches? They kind of look like this, right? I don't know. It's just like branches. Yeah, just draw branches the way that you kind of remember it to be. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna do one line. That may be a little easier instead of drawing it. And the branches, since I made the piece a little bit brighter than it should have been, it kind of looks a little off. But yeah, and now cleaning up the lines a little bit. And now you've created a tree, apparently. I swear it looked better on the Instagram, but that's sort of like the style that they did. The idea behind it is that there's different, they didn't use shading like this, they actually used blocks of color. But the idea behind this was to create different layers of values. You got bright ones, medium ones, and then dark ones. And the dark ones obviously are going to be near the bottom because that's where the shadows are. And so by sort of doing these over and by layering the bright and the dark colors on top of each other, it creates depth. And it also, apparently, at least towards that video, it made it look good. So that is my tree example. Back to art. Okay, let's go ahead and do her hair. So we silhouette the hair. Right. We silhouette the hair. So let's go ahead and get our brush. So what kind of hair would look really good on her, you feel? A lot of hair flowing in. And kind of pull it in just a little bit. Yeah, I think that the hair part should be a little more downwards a bit. Wolf cut? Badass. What about half hair? Haman Karn? Anybody? Haman? Doesn't Haman have hair like this? Haman Karn hair. How about short hair with ponytail in the front? Kind of like tomboyish a little bit. Okay, so this is our block. Let's go ahead and, whoops. Let's go ahead and lower the opacity here and draw in the hair. Oh, before we do that, let me do something real quick. I need to extend this a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit. Move it more 3D by pulling out her face a bit more. Okay, we're good. And pencil we go. Okay, before we continue with the hair, I want to show off a couple of things. The first thing is, I don't know if you guys know this, but I went to round 1 and I did a crane game, and I got this character. Her name is Reze from Chainsaw Man. And let me tell you guys the story about how I got her. So, yesterday we had a stream where we opened up round 1. Or sorry, round 1 was giving out One Piece trading cards promos, and you basically had to charge your card to get some cards. So I charged my card, then I went to the crane games and I saw this game. I saw a couple of people try it on her. The game was basically picking up balls and then dropping it into like a takoyaki maker. If you hit the center, you win. And I saw a couple of people do it. They failed like 8 times or so, and then they walked away. Now, as they walked away, I decided, this is my chance. Typically with these luck games, it's about how many times you do it rather than like skill. It's just how many times you do it. So I swiped another 15 times and I finally got it. Now, that might be kind of expensive if you think about it, because 15 and then the average swipe is around $4. So I spent around $60 to get her, which might be crazy. But it turns out, look at the fishnet, but it turns out that this specific piece, if you were to even resell it on eBay, is like, there's only 2 listings, one from China, one from Japan, and it's like almost $100. So in a sense, not that I was going to sell it or anything, because I was going to keep it for myself, but in a sense, this is how much the market values this, about $100. Terms of this figurine is really heavy and massive too. It's really nice. I don't have any figurines. This is my first figurine, so I just wanted to say it's really cool. Really cool. I think that it's really interesting how such a simplistic design. She has such a simplistic design, yet it works so well. It's just black and white, and this part is basically just like, I don't even know. I've never seen it before. And then she has, and then her design is just like, it's peak simplicity, so awesome. Okay, so we have the shape. And so now what we're going to do is we are going to create the hair. Now, for the hair, what we're going to do is we are going to do the outline of the hair first. And then after that, we'll go in with the details. This specific character, I'm thinking about, this is not any like real life character. It's just me playing with hair and stuff like that, practicing hair. But I kind of want to give her sort of like a cloud look. This can be like very 90s-esque. Very floofy hair. Something that I'm really proud of. I really like doing. And we are not going to make the hair too sharp. Our goal is to make floofy hair from the 90s. Let's try for that. The 90s. Okay, the hair is actually really... Okay, hold on. This hair right here is actually supposed to be not there. I think her hair is a little too big. It's like... We're gonna shrink this a bit. There we go. I think the hair was a little too big. Then we're gonna go ahead and push in the hair a little bit this way, because you know her hair on the side right here, and a little more. Yeah, look at that. That's nice. Okay, now we go in. So what do I mean by in? Now we start adding layer. We're gonna section the hair apart. So Granblue does this a lot, and I've been practicing this a bit. What I mean by sectioning hair is, oh, you guys are not even showing my art. Whoops. I was drawing. You guys didn't even see what I was drawing. But you section the hair, and when you section the hair like so, clearly defined sections of the hair, then you can start adding points of connection. So in this specific case, I want maybe her hair to look like this. Right? So this would be one hair. So I'll start drawing lines from the top, from the sides to connect the hairs together, like so. And so that's one section. Here is another section, right? And you gotta make sure the lines are thinner. That's another section. And it's always not bad to have a little bit of hair that's crossing over like so and cutting through. Like so. And here is the next one. So 1, 2, 3, follow the hairlines, have it come and connect. This adds texture, and whatnot. Here's our next one. Right? And then we're gonna go in lines, lines. Like so. And this is our second line right here. And then our third line probably will be this one right here. So this one's a little bit bigger. Bigger areas you don't really need, but you could add, if you want to add more lines, always add it near the bottom. You can leave the top sort of empty if you would like. You don't have to. Like so. So now you have something that looks like this. And then um, what happens is we'll go ahead and add a little bit of hair coming down from the sides, right? Because that's... erase this. Okay, got a little bit of hair coming down. Very nice, very nice. I like it, I like it. Let's do a little bit of the eye here. I'm looking at the eye and I think it needs to be a little bit bigger. Just this one. Okay, that's good. I think I have leveled up in my hair game, guys. I think I have cracked the code. Now I just need to figure out how to make the hair more 3D, you know? I think that comes down to shading. I think so. Is she cute or is she not? I think she's cute. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, so let's get into the body real quick. So the body itself, right? I mean, okay, so it kind of looks like this. So we have the neck kind of goes out like this. The breasts will be around the middle area, which is right here. Right there, around there. So, and then, so it should be like, wait, the circle, no, it should be higher. Sorry, the breast is higher. The breast is like right here. So one person, the way they described it is like, it's an infinity. And if it's an infinity, then the breast should be like right here. Roughly. But I think it's a little more pushed out, just a little bit more. Okay. Then, this one goes like here. We got to make the body smaller than it actually is. I remember that was my struggle. Yeah, you know, let's move this back. One of my problems was that I needed to make the body small. I always make the body bigger than it should be. And I need to excuse me. I don't know how to draw, so we're just gonna draw like pants here real quick. We'll do wide pants. Because why wide pants? Well, because if you have a tank top, if you have a tank top, then having wide pants is really nice. Trying to create folds right here on the weight is here. This is the weight. So okay, and then that. We can make basic shapes. The point of tension would probably be right here. So, and this area would be think they were good here. And no, 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 no. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Yeah. Yeah. I think that her shoulder is a little too long. I think that this should be moved in just... Oh. It? Even though it's on a separate layer. Okay, I think this is what I wanted to practice. And I'm pretty happy with the results. I think that the only thing I would change is that I think that I would make this come in a little more, because the shoes would be here. I mean, she's like sitting on something. Like the foreshortening is all off, but you know what? It's okay. We got to practice what we wanted to practice. I think what we'll do now here is we're gonna go ahead and take away, or sorry, I'm gonna actually do this, and I'm gonna transform this, and I'm gonna make it bigger. And then also I am going to work on the eyes a little bit. So let's go ahead and take all of these off. And for the eyes, Okay. You know what? That's a win in my books. That is a win in my books. Now, if I were to kind of change this picture up a little bit, what would I do differently? Like, yeah, what would I do differently? I think that what I would do is, we have a square format going on, right? And we also have this thing as our inspiration, right? So maybe what we could do is have something. Okay. Maybe we do this. Maybe we do this. We bring the leg up. We bring the leg up. And we'll do this mid animation, meaning that mid movement. So we bring the leg up. We bring the leg up, and then her hand, the whole picture would have to change actually. Never mind. I mean, maybe we just don't do anything. Because it could look something like this. Ah, Noodle, you're so smart. Look at you, so smart. Oh, look at you. You're so smart. Thank you. All right, I think that's it. I think that is it. I'm gonna take away the gray. It might be hurting your guys' eyes a little bit. But yeah, this is what it kind of looks like. Would you not say that this is very reminiscent of fantasy art? I think I am in the right direction, guys. I am in the right direction. Now, what would I change on this? Well, I haven't practiced clothing yet. I did not get to practice too much anatomy, but I'm kind of, slowly getting there. I think that what I should do is add little bits of strands. Right? Wouldn't that be interesting? I need to make some of the strands darker. I think some lighter, some darker. I know that what the other guy does, I saw, was that he takes a airbrush and he actually kind of like lines some of the lines. I don't really like that though. I like the texture, but I do believe that this area is a little much. Yeah. Very, very good. Okay. That's it. Alrighty. Thank you guys for watching today. I do appreciate it. We got through another piece of art, which is fantastic. I am very happy with how half of this turned out. Obviously, I don't know how to do the other half yet. Still practicing. But this above half, I am very, very proud of. Below that, not so much. Concepts of a plan is what I would say, but kind of working to get there. Yeah. We'll be back on I'm not gonna be streaming Monday. I'm not sure when I'm gonna be streaming again next week. Might be Wednesday or Tuesday, and then we'll try some more art. Again, my goal is to do 2 to 3 streams a week. Sunday I want to stream for sure. And then the other time might be another day. And then I wanted to stream Saturday. I wanted Saturday to be community night. So, but I want community night like maybe first and last week of every month, maybe something like that. Still thinking about it on the timing, but that is the goal. Thank you guys for watching today. Have fun with the rest of your Sunday. And let me see if anybody's even streaming right now. Looks like Lisa is streaming right now. Let's go ahead and raid Lisa. I know last time my raid thing didn't work. Let me try it again. I don't know if it will. Raid. I don't know if it will. I don't think it does. I think my raid is messed up. Oh, actually, I spelled her name wrong. Eesh. That doesn't work. Manually? I gotta manually do it? Let me see if that's even possible. Creator dashboard. And we'll go to Stream Manager. And then stream together raid channel. Okay, we're gonna be raiding in. Wait, no. Yeah, we're gonna be raiding in 4 seconds. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Enjoy. Bye bye. Oh wait, no. We still got time. Yeah, I'll go now. Eat well, rest well, sleep well. Now I'll go. Bye bye.